07. Company 208. Company 209. Company 210. Also graduating today is Company 941, which is composed of the drill team, recruit band, and the Blue Jacket Choir, which you will see perform today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ensign Barnaby, the Drill Division Officer. And on behalf of Captain Toms, our Commanding Officer, welcome to Recruit Training Command Great Lakes and to this week's recruit graduation ceremony. Today you will see 10 recruit companies participate in the graduation ceremony and pass and review. There will also be performances by the drill team, recruit band, choir, state flags, and staff units. These units are composed entirely of recruits. The unit positioned directly behind me is the review commander and his staff. The review commander is responsible for conducting the graduation ceremony and pass and review. The review commander for today is Seaman Recruit Kevin L. Lanier from Richmond, Virginia. Also performing today is the Great Lakes Naval Training Center Band under the leadership of Lieutenant Barney Walker. The Naval Training Center Band was formed in 1917 and was first directed by Lieutenant Commander John Philip Sousa. This band is the only Navy band in the Midwest and performs throughout the Great Lakes region. The drum major for today's review is Petty Officer 2nd Class Dean Oman, and conducting the Navy band is Petty Officer 2nd Class John F. Mobley. The recruits will soon participate in recruit training and depart for other duties. Following their graduation, they will report to the apprentice training department or to a service school command for follow-on training. After this training, they will be ordered to one of the Navy's ships, submarines, aircraft squadrons, or shore installations for duty. Early in training, the recruits are formed into companies of approximately 70 men each and assigned 2 company commanders. The company commander is the key man in the life of the recruit and the backbone of recruit training. He is responsible for teaching the individual recruit how to discipline himself and how to carry out the exacting routines of military life. The company commander must serve as a counselor, disciplinarian, administrator, and military leader. Above all, he must show himself as an outstanding example of military appearance, attitude, and behavior. These fleet-experienced senior enlisted personnel are carefully screened for this assignment. Then they undergo extensive instructor training, followed by a special company commander course. Soon after the company forms, the company commander selects several recruits for various positions of authority within the company. These recruit petty officers are responsible for maintaining good order, discipline, conduct, and security within the company. The senior recruit petty officer is designated the recruit chief petty officer. The recruit chief petty officer takes charge of the company in the absence of the company commanders and will lead his company as they pass and review today. As a motivating factor during recruit training, each company competes with other companies of the graduation group in the areas of uniform appearance, cleanliness of barrack spaces, drill, athletics, and a rigorous academic curriculum. The success of each company is indicated areas of excellence. It is now my pleasure to introduce the company commanders and recruit chief petty officers for the graduating companies. As each company in person is introduced, the competitive flags won by the company and the state flags indicating the home states of the company commanders and their recruit chief petty officer will be raised. Please hold your applause until all of these men have been introduced. Starting from my right. Company 205, graduating with distinction, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Daniel Scott from Greenville, Mississippi, and Petty Officer First Class David Scott from Greenville, Mississippi, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Darth Rabiano from Rio Grande, California. Company 206, graduating with distinction, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Thomas G. Farnsworth from Lansing, Michigan, and Chief Petty Officer Denny W. Moore from Dixon, Nebraska, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Frank Ferrara from Cleveland, Ohio. Company 207, graduating with distinction, commanded by Petty Officer First Class Gary D. Van Sky from Superior, Arizona, and Petty Officer First Class Brett C. Wilson from Eugene, Oregon, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Scott D. Bogart from Warwick, New York. Company 208, graduating with distinction, commanded by Petty Officer First Class William Boisel from Springfield, Ohio, and Petty Officer First Class Brian S. Collier from Schenectady, New York, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Eric R. Lewis from Delton, Michigan. Company 209, graduating with distinction, commanded by Senior Chief Petty Officer Richard R. Burgess from Middletown, Connecticut, and Chief Petty Officer Gregory S. Swim from Reedsport, New York, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Daniel J. Long, Jr. from Clovis, California. Company 210, graduating with distinction, commanded by Petty Officer First Class Daniel D. Cleveland from Corral, Minnesota, and Petty Officer Second Class Timothy D. Lauber from Mobile, Alabama, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Nathaniel L. Bell from Nashville, Tennessee. Company 211, graduating with distinction, commanded by Petty Officer First Class Gary R. Strong from West Dallas, Wisconsin, and Petty Officer First Class Timothy D. Price from Lincoln Park, Michigan, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Anthony C. Stout from Danville, Arkansas. Company 212, commanded by Chief Petty Officer William T. Turnage from Greenville, North Carolina, and Petty Officer First Class Norbert L. France from Athens, Wisconsin, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Willie T. Miles from Chicago, Illinois. Company 213, graduating with distinction, commanded by Chief Petty Officer James F. Broadwater from Baltimore, Maryland, and Petty Officer First Class Thomas Sorensen from Jacksonville, Florida, and their recruit Chief Petty Officer Gregory F. Brakey from Madison Heights, Michigan. Company 941, graduating with distinction, commanded by Petty Officer First Class Paul A. Rue from Manchester, New Hampshire, and his recruit Chief Petty Officer Kevin L. Fleming from Jackson, Mississippi. This company is composed of recruits in the drill team, the recruit band, and the Blue Jacket Choir. On behalf of the commanding officer and the staff of Recruit Training Command, we congratulate these company commanders and recruit chief petty officers on a job well done.
Will the guests please rise? Naval Training Center arriving. States Army, retired. The guests may be seated.
dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red legs on bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Hold on! Hold!
Chaplain Felder will now give the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father of us all, we come to you with a spirit of thanksgiving, a spirit of pride. We ask for your blessings upon these young men who have completed a difficult and challenging period of discipline and training. They have gone beyond the breaking point without breaking. They have persevered with honor and dignity. In a few minutes, they will no longer be recruits, but sailors, ready and willing to serve you, their country, and their Navy as only a sailor can. We're thankful for their dedication and for their endurance. We're also thankful for the parents, the family, the loved ones and friends who have sacrificed today to come for this joyous and victorious celebration, for entrusting these young men to our care. We, both enlisted and officers, are proud of these sailors, and we commend them to your care. Guide these young men with wisdom, judgment, and courage in all that they do. Grant, we pray, that they may always bring honor to you, to the Navy, and to themselves. Amen.
Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath found the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea.
The guests may be seated.
Down! Engine and call! Recruit seat flight officer! Front! Hey, Spencer!
Historically, it is at this point when the commanding officer will issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit commanders will face about and return to their units to pass along information to their troops. At this time, it is being used to give a visual demonstration of the chain of command.
Company, report.
Company 205, all personnel are accounted for, sir.
Very well.
Company 206, all personnel are accounted for, sir.
Very well.
Company 207, all personnel are accounted for, sir.
Very well.
Company 208, all personnel are accounted for, sir.
Very well.
Company 209, all personnel are accounted for, sir.
Very well.
2210, all present, all accounted for, sir.
Very well.
211, all present, accounted for, sir.
Very well.
212, all present, all accounted for, sir.
Very well.
213, all present, all accounted for, sir.
Very well.
Company 941, all present, all accounted for, sir.
Very well.
All company present, all accounted
Recruit. Keep head up, sir. Return to your company and prepare to commence the review.
Aye, sir.
Troops, keep head up, sir. Right. Forward left. Face. Forward. March.
sea. Now the land of his life for me. It's a mighty fine life, yes, a mighty fine life for a man of the sea. A mighty fine life, yes, a mighty fine life for a man of the sea. Oh, Columbia, the gem of the ocean, the home of the brave and the free, the shrine of each patriot's devotion, the world offers homage to thee. Thy banners make heroes assemble, when liberty's form stands in view. Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when born by the red, white, and blue. When born by the red, white, and blue. When born by the red, white, and blue. Thy banners make tyranny tremble. When born by the red, white, and blue. The star-spangled banner bring hither, for Columbia's true sons let it wave. May the wreath they have won never wither, nor the stars cease to shine on the brave. May the service united not sever, but hold to their colors so true. The world's greatest navy forever. 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. The world's greatest navy forever. 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me, if you're not strong. Lean on me, I'll be your friend. Lean on me, I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, it won't be long. Lean on me, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride, if I have things you need to borrow. No one can fill those other needs, those needs that you won't let show. Lean on me, if you're not strong. Lean on me, I'll be your friend. Lean on me, I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, it won't be long. Lean on me, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me. Lean on me, if you're not strong. Lean on me, I'll be your friend. Lean on me, I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, it won't be long. Lean on me, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Just call me when you need a call. Oh, baby, just call me. Oh, baby, just call me now, because I'll be there for you. Just call me.
HD1, hot! Formation, hot! Suicide hut! Queen and salute!
Outstanding performance. Airman Recruit Robinson and to the rest of the crew, my first opportunity to drill with the Navy. I really didn't know that they could. But you're showing us today that you can. Stay well.
Rig cover, hot! Forward, forward!
Center at Great Lakes, I welcome you to this afternoon's recruit graduation review. I would like to give a special welcome to the parents, wives, and other family members and friends of today's graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, today you are visiting the biggest and best Naval Training Command in the United States. As we enter our 81st year of training recruits, we are proud to announce the finest sailors of any Navy in the world pass through this facility. And these proud young men standing before you are certainly no exception. They are following in the footsteps of over 3 million Americans who have entered the Navy through Great Lakes since 1911. They will carry on the traditions of professionalism and courage established by the men and women who have gone before them. The U.S. Navy of yesterday established freedom of the seas, providing for the physical and economic security of this country and all the free world. The U.S. Navy of the future must be mobile, it must be flexible, and it must make use of technological advances. Most important of all, it must rely on sailors, like those standing before you, to operate and maintain increasingly sophisticated equipment. These individuals are the guarantors of our freedom. Admiral Partington, I'm ready to graduate this group of new sailors and send them on to eventually serve in the aircraft, submarines, ships, and shore installations of our Navy. These men have earned the right to be called sailors and to wear a uniform recognized throughout the world as a symbol for the defense of freedom. Our guest of honor for today's graduation is Mr. Richard A. Rao, owner and president, Rao & Company, Chicago, Illinois. He is a native of Winnetka, Illinois, and an Air Force veteran. During his 4 years of active duty, he achieved the rank of Staff Sergeant and was stationed at the 3555th Pilot Training Group, Heron Air Force Base, Texas. After his discharge from the Air Force, he received a Bachelor of Science degree from Indiana University School of Business, where he graduated with distinction. Mr. Rao started his professional career in the investment department at American United Life Insurance Company in Indianapolis. Moving to Chicago, he associated with Say & Thomas Incorporated, becoming president of the company in 1967. In 1971, he formed his current company, which is involved in the brokerage, management, financing, and development of many major commercial and industrial income property acquisitions. He is very active in the community, in professional organizations, charitable foundations, as a guest lecturer at a variety of local colleges and universities, as a life member of the Navy League of the United States, and as vice chairman of the commissioning committee for the fast attack submarine USS Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm Navy welcome to a distinguished businessman and friend of the Navy, our guest of honor, Mr. Richard Rao. Our reviewing officer for today's graduation is Brigadier General Frank C. Bacon, United States Army, retired. He is currently the President and Chief Executive Officer for Frank's Grocery Store chain. Born in Lexington, Mississippi, and educated in Chicago, General Bacon enlisted in the Army Air Corps in 1945. After serving a 2-year tour, he was discharged and began his higher education. In 1951, he received his bachelor's degree in psychology and English from West Virginia State College and was commissioned an Army Second Lieutenant. He also holds a master's degree in public administration from Northeastern Illinois University. The general served on active duty and in the reserves for 39 years. His duty assignments include service in the 235th Field Artillery Observation Battalion during the Korean conflict, recalled to active duty during the Lebanon crisis of 1958 and 59, and service as Chief of Intelligence for the reserves in Wisconsin and Michigan. He has commanded various military units, including platoon, company, battery, battalion, and Army group. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm recruit training command welcome to a distinguished businessman and Army veteran, General Frank Bacon. A company which attains superior competitive marks is awarded the title of Color Company and earns a special flag in recognition of this outstanding achievement. 5 companies of this graduating group have earned this special status. These companies are Company 205, located to my far right, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Daniel Scott and Petty Officer First Class David Scott. Company 206, located to my right, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Thomas Farnsworth and Chief Petty Officer Denny Moore. Company 207, located to my right, commanded by Petty Officer First Class Brett Wilson and Petty Officer First Class Gary Van Sky. Company 208, also located to my right, commanded by Petty Officer First Class William Moselle and Petty Officer First Class Brian Collier. Company 209, located to my left, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Richard Burgess and Chief Petty Officer Gregory Swim. Congratulations, Company 205, Company 206, 207, 208, and 209. We select for recognition a company commander from those companies assembled who best demonstrates the attributes of personal leadership and the training of the individual recruit. The recipient of the Distinguished Leadership Award for this graduating group is Petty Officer First Class Gary R. Strom, Company Commander of Company 211. Brigadier General Bacon will now present Petty Officer Strom with a letter of commendation. It is a pleasure to read the following citation. Commander, Naval Training Center, Great Lakes, takes pleasure in presenting a letter of commendation to Bosun's Mate First Class Gary Roger Strom, United States Navy, for professional achievement in the superior performance of his duties while serving as Company Commander of Recruit Company 211 from 16 July to 6 September 1991. Petty Officer Strom consistently performed in an exemplary and highly professional manner. By attaining a superior standard of excellence in their training, the recruits of Company 211 have demonstrated their individual potential to succeed in the Navy as a direct result of Petty Officer Strom's ability to lead and train recruits. His exceptional professional ability, initiative, and loyal dedication to duty reflected great credit upon himself and the United States Navy. Signed, James W. Partington, Rear Admiral, U.S. Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now present the honor recruits of the graduating companies of Recruit Training Command. Fireman Apprentice Jason A. Harper of Company 205 from Hilton, Oklahoma. Seaman Recruit Sean P. Yelling of Company 206 from Houston, Texas. Airman Recruit John V. Litch of Company 207 from East Northport, New York. Fireman Recruit Cecil J. Clark of Company 208 from Canton, Ohio. Airman Jason C. Wimbish of Company 209 from Meriden, Connecticut. Seaman Clarence Salvage of Company 210 from East Cleveland, Ohio. Seaman Brian L. Holston of Company 211 from Williston, South Carolina. Seaman Recruit Robert Silva of Company 212 from Harlingen, Texas. Airman Recruit George A. Nardone of Company 213 from Cedar Springs, Michigan. Seaman Recruit Eric G. Sumner of Company 941 from West Covina, California. To each honor recruit goes our traditional compliment. Well done. The United Service Organization Award is presented to the recruit who best exemplifies the spirit and intent of the term shipmate. Through his enthusiasm, team spirit, and willingness to assist his fellow recruits in meeting the objectives and standards of recruit training, Fireman Recruit Roberto Flores of Company 208 from San Antonio, Texas, is this week's winner of the USO Award. Fireman Recruit Flores, congratulations, shipmate, on a job well done. recipient of the Military Order of the World Wars Award of Merit, Seaman Frank Ferrara, Company 206 from Cleveland, Ohio. This award is presented for meritorious performance during recruit training. Seaman Ferrara's dedication and motivation for his duties resulted in a superior record of excellence in academic and military training. His performance was marked by pride, patriotism, and an impressive potential for leadership in the United States Navy. Seaman Ferrara, you are commended for your achievement and selection for this award. Well done. Displayed outstanding qualities of leadership, best expressing the American spirit of honor, initiative, and loyalty, and having set a high example for his comrades in arms during his training period. Seaman Michael S. Rice, Company 205 from Rapid City, South Dakota, has been awarded the Navy League Honor Award. This award is sponsored by the Navy League of the United States and is awarded to outstanding recruits selected throughout the Department of the Navy upon graduation from basic training. Seaman Rice, for your outstanding performance, I congratulate you. Well done. Seaman recruit Adam T. Rodriguez of Company 211 from the Bronx, New York, is today's recipient of the Navy Club of the United States of America Military Excellence Award. This award is presented to that recruit whose total performance in recruit training sets him apart as the finest of the 800 recruits graduating today. Seaman recruit Rodriguez's total performance in recruit training best exemplifies the qualities of enthusiasm, devotion to duty, professional and academic achievement, military appearance and behavior, self-discipline, and teamwork. Seaman recruit Rodriguez, the staff of Recruit Training Command salutes you as the finest of this group of graduating recruits. Well done. Appropriate to recognize such outstanding individual accomplishments by these recruits with a round of 3 cheers. The Review Commander Alternate will now lead all graduating companies in 3 cheers for the honor recruits and award winners.
Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray!
It's a pleasure for me to introduce to you once again today's reviewing officer, Brigadier General Bacon, who will address the graduating companies.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Admiral Partington, Mr. and Mrs. Rossi, to the Captain Pete Toms, to the Recruit Command, and all of you fine family and friends who came to see your children and friends graduate today. This is a serious milestone in the life of any man. A milestone where you have now become a person that we can call a trained person. In the educational field, you go to graduation, they'll have you flip your tussle from one side to the other, which means that now that you have graduated, you, my friends, are now among the trained persons of the world. What does this mean to you in the military? What does this mean to you in civilian life? In the military, it means that you're going to be able to accomplish recognition, pay wages, pay grades, things of this nature, which are important to all. If any of you ever decide to get out, I never decided to get out, they finally put me out. If you ever decide to get out, it means something in the civilian world. It means that the person who is going to hire you can look around and say, oh, my friend did such and such a time in the Navy. And bosses know, and I'm sure Mr. Rosher will agree with me on this, people who are hiring in the civilian world know that people who have been trained by the military have a certain acumen about them that the business world needs. They know basically that you are, one, intelligent. They know, two, that you are basically healthy. They know, three, that you have been trained, because anytime you can go through 8 weeks of staying on one post without having any liberty, you have been trained. They know that you can work yourself into a position to be a manager or a supervisor. And that is because you have been trained, or you will be training. I gave this talk or something like this to my son's graduation 10 years ago when his commissioning ceremony at the ROTC that I graduated from, and he incidentally graduated from the same ROTC. And at that time there was a song that was very popular. It said, if you knew what you had, you would know that you were a millionaire. I'll say to you today, without ado and without a long lengthy speech, you know what you have, and you're a million times better off today than you were yesterday. God bless you. I'm happy to be a part of you. Thank you for inviting me. I got a chance to eat some military chow, and for those that listened to my resume, you knew I kind of grew up in the military. It's been over 45 years ago that I was standing out there the same as you are. Time goes by without question very rapidly. Thank you so much for that time.
Forward! All right! Touching! March!
Thank you.